Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I am going to be talking to you guys about goals for the new year. Happy New Year. You will not believe, as I'm recording this, it's literally New Year's Eve. So I feel like getting this video out to you on the 1st was like a drive home. I had to get it done. Not to mention, this video is a part of a collaboration that is hosted by Wendy over at Plan Prep Pray. You will find a link to the playlist down below in the description. When I say this playlist is amazing, there are some amazing YouTube creators and they are talking all things goals, resolutions, lack thereof, whatever their plan is starting 2025. So when you finish watching this video, make sure you check the description and watch all of the other videos so that you can get some amazing information. My name is Morgan here at The Life of Tillmans. If this is your first time, welcome and Happy New Year for 2025. If you've been with me before, welcome back and Happy New Year to you as well. I cannot believe that we are starting a new year. I feel like 2024 just was like blink and it was gone. But also, I still feel like that's kind of like a trend of things going on because we are so busy all the time that life just really is passing us by. Literally, the days are just flying by. I have a friend who'll ask me like, how was your day? How was your weekend? We haven't talked, like maybe 3 or 4 days. And I'm like, I've slept. I can confirm that I did get some sleep. All the other things in between, I don't know, but we are just a busy world. We live in a really, really busy world. Spoiler alert, I am a goal setter. And when I started thinking about goals and resolutions, I was like, what is the difference? What is the difference between setting a goal and a resolution? And what I came up with while searching the internet was that goals are things that you can set at any point in time. You want to achieve something specific, but also goals are a little bit more specific than a resolution. And a lot of times people set resolutions at the start of a new year. So is one of them better than the other, right or wrong? Absolutely not. I can tell you that when I was growing up, my household, setting goals or even New Year's resolutions, it just wasn't a thing. Like I don't remember us ever sitting down talking about those things. So when I started dialing back, when did I truly start setting goals? And I started setting goals when I went to nursing school. I had finished 4 years of a bachelor's degree, of course, graduated high school, all the things. And I got to nursing school and we had specific clinical checkoffs and progressions. We had patient care plans that we had to create. And in the process of doing all of those things, I realized that when I'm creating a patient care plan, I have to set goals for that patient. What are they going to accomplish within this 12-hour shift that I'm working? And what is something that they can accomplish within a month? Or we just had to set goals and do our patient care plans. And so that really was the start of me as an adult. I was in my mid-20s setting goals and really seeing what those look like. So once I started setting goals in nursing school, I thought that this is probably something that I should do for myself in my own life. And if I could create it for multiple patients, for more intense situations, we're talking about healthcare needs and things like that, then surely I could create goals for myself and help me to stay focused on what it is that I needed to do. And that is how and when I started setting goals. When I am setting goals, I go by this acronym, and I did not coin this. I simply heard it, I think like in a fitness group or something, but SMART goals. And I have them written down what the acronym means, but SMART. So the S is for specific, the M is measurable, A is achievable, R is relevant, and the T is timely, or some people say like time stamped or something like that. I just say it's a timely goal. So when we are talking about a specific goal, it can't be this broad idea of like, or I guess it could. I'm going to back up because it possibly could be this really broad idea. Like, I want to make $1 million in a year. Okay, that is a specific goal that you want to achieve. You have to break that down smaller so that you have the steps created to be able to achieve making $1 million in a year. Otherwise, it's just a thought. I don't know what that specific phrase is, but it's something like a goal set with no action is just a wish or something on the lines of that. Y'all can put it down in the comments for me, but you have to put action with the things that you are trying to do. So when we talk about the M for SMART, it has to be something that's measurable. How do you know that you are still working towards your goal? Having checkpoints on the way to say, once I reach this point, okay, then I'll move on to the next point. That is how you are able to measure your goals and make sure that they're measurable, because you want to know that you're progressing toward whatever goal it is that you have set. Then achievable. Y'all, let's not go out here trying to set all these goals like, I want to lose 200 pounds in a year. Like, number one, that's not healthy. And if you are able to achieve it, it's probably not healthy. So make sure that your goals are achievable for whatever it is that you are trying to do. And I am a firm believer that we can do anything that we put our minds to. It may not be in the time frame for which we think we're supposed to be able to do them, but if we put those action steps down, then we can say, I want to make $1 million in 3 years. What am I going to do year 1, year 2, year 3, and how would I get there? Whatever your goal is, just make sure that it's something that you truly can reach. Otherwise, you will not be determined to get there. You will fizzle out because you're going to constantly be trying to grab for this goal that you just, for some reason, cannot seem to reach. And that's because it's not an achievable goal. So the R for the SMART is relevant. We want to make sure that our goals are relevant to us and our lives and what we are trying to achieve. I can see people, close friends, family, all the things, setting all of these goals. One of them that I remember distinctly is like, I have friends who read constantly. My children do too. And they're like reading, 32 books in a year, 50, 70 books in a year. And I'm like, I'm barely getting in like 5. So for me to set a goal to read 50 books in a year, yes, is it attainable? But is it relevant to me and what it is that I am trying to do? Probably not. Do I want to be able to read? Would I love to be able to read that many books in a year? Yes, but it's just really not relevant to my life. I have to set a goal that is achievable. I'm going back to the A. That is achievable for me. And 50 books in a year is not achievable for me personally. So you want to make sure that your goals are relevant to your life, something that you can achieve, something that you desire, not just because you think it's really cool that somebody else is able to do it, but it's something that you are truly seeking to achieve, making your goal relevant for you. And the last thing on the SMART acronym is the T, and make it timely. When do you want to accomplish this goal? Do you want to do it in 2 weeks? Do you want to do it in 6 months, 9 months, a year, 5 years? My husband often makes a 1-3-5 plan is what it is. So goals that he wants to achieve within a year, where he would like to be in 3 years, where he would like to be in 5 years. And he often goes back and revamps that and changes things and marks off things that he has completed and all the things. But for you, what is a time frame that you want to be able to complete or accomplish this goal? And that will be a part of your goal setting. So the SMART acronym. So for me personally, in setting goals, I like to focus on 4 areas for goals within my life: personal, homeschool, marriage, and family. And that is not in any specific order of hierarchy, okay? Those are just the 4 areas that I like to focus on. And within those 4 areas, there are subcategories that will fall underneath it. So for personal, that's when I would start to set different goals that I have for me personally. And I always think about my personal goals. They may only be directly for me, but they will indirectly affect those around me. So if I am on a mission to better myself, my family, my friends, those around me will receive that as well indirectly, because I am becoming a better person. So while it may not involve them specifically, it still involves them to some degree. When I'm talking about homeschool goals, I like to continue the goals that I've set, because typically I set my homeschool goals for the school year. So for this year would be 2024, 2025. So I am currently looking at goals that I set at the beginning of the year, and I'm saying, are these goals still applicable? Did I reach things? I marked things off. Am I still working towards a goal? Was this a yearly goal, a 2-month goal, a 2-week goal? Whatever it is, I will continue those. I will revamp them. And sometimes I start new goals for the second semester for our homeschool. I also like to set a few specific goals for each one of my daughters to where they know the goal. We sit down and do that together. I will share in the description a goals video that I did with them at the beginning of the year. They have their own planners, all of that, and we go through different goals and they set goals of their own. We review those so often, and it allows us to make sure that we're staying on track. So I also will set new goals for them, or we will set new goals together if they've achieved the goal, or if we find that another struggle has come along or another desire, because it's not all just about struggles when you're setting goals or resolutions, whatever you choose to do. A lot of times it's like, this would be really cool. I want to do this. And so it's something fun and exciting for you to work towards. Sometimes we do set goals to get rid of bad habits. Like, I want to be more focused. How can I do that? Put my phone down. What else? Make sure that I'm getting enough sleep at night. Make sure that I'm getting my exercise, eating right. That is how you incorporate lots of different things when you're trying to set goals. That could be to better yourself because you're doing something that is less desirable, or also to achieve something that you just really think would be really cool. Under the family category, things that I put under there are just things that we want to do as a family. This is time for us to sit down and roundtable talk all of the different things. One of those is vacations. Like, we want to take a family vacation every year. And so we sit down and we talk about where we would like to go and what we want to do when we get there so that we can plan out our vacation. It's something that we do all together. So I really enjoy having the family category because it incorporates all of us as a family unit and where God is leading us to be that kingdom family. How are we growing God's kingdom? How are we building the kingdom within our home? How are we serving? And so family is a big part of the goals that we set for every single year. And the other category that I talked about is marriage. My husband and I are always looking to better our marriage. I feel like if you don't have a goal or a direction that you are trying to go in within your marriage or with your friendships, things like that, how do you know what is going on? How do you know to maintain it? It can't just do it on its own. We have to nurture those relationships. And so we set marriage goals. We sit down, we talk about things that we want to achieve for the year, processes that we want to go through, all the things, even down to like doing marriage conferences once or twice a year, making sure that we are attending our marriage ministry meetings with our church. We try to do those things every year, and we do fall short. So, I mean, between sports and 3 children and travel, for those activities, my husband's travel, sometimes we're not able to do those. So then it's like, pick a Bible scripture or Bible plan and let's read that together. We have plenty of marriage books and just all the enrichment to continue to nurture our marriage. So even though I have these 4 categories, I try to pick between 1 and 3 main or core topics, I'll say, underneath each one of those categories. If I get any more than that, y'all, like, it's just too much, okay? Way too many goals. And I'll be honest with you right now, I have not finished setting my goals for the 2025 year. I'm just not done. Like, I had to take some time to sit back, rest, reset, pray over these, think about them, set out a plan for them, and step into them. Because if I were to set 3 goals under each category, then we are talking about 12 separate goals. And it's actually a little bit more than that, because under the homeschool one, I have goals, a couple of goals for each one of my girls as well as an overall goal for our homeschool. So that's even more than 12. And it can get really complicated. So I like to step into the new year focused on a few and just gradually add more and more. Does that mean that you can't achieve that goal within a time frame because you didn't use the full 12 months to be able to do it? Absolutely not. Sometimes the goals, you don't need that much time. You need like 2 months to be able to get it done. Well, that's what I'm going to work on implementing later on. It's not the priority. However, there are certain things that I like to get started at the beginning of the year. Health and wellness is always on the list. Finances is always on the list. It's almost like that's your time to like reset in those areas and just really start the year off on that great foot. You've prayed about it. You have thought about it. God has sent you the plan for it. You are working the steps according to His will. And it's like, this is what I need to get started with. So I gradually step into goals, which is why I'm not done with some of them. But it also takes some of the pressure and stress off of me, because it can be very stressful to try to sit down and map out 12 goals. So in talking about my personal goals, there are just a few things I'm going to share with you guys that I'm working on for this 2025 year. And I am really working on my spiritual, mental, and physical health and wellness, you guys. That is, to me, the most important. It is the top goal under my personal goals. And I'm going to put a lot of energy into that. I have already done so, and I'm going to continue to do so. I have specific things that I'm going to do each day under each one of those categories to help me reach my goals. And the top of that list is just praying, just really allowing God to lead me, giving everything over to Him, everything. From the stomp peaky toe to the schedule to health and wellness, like all of it. I'm giving all things over to Him. That is a really, really big part of my personal goal setting, and just making sure that I'm constantly filling my cup with all the good things. And I don't mean the fleshly good things. I mean God's word, people around me who are God-fearing and love the Lord, and interacting with people and serving. Like, I just really feel this pull to be in that direction. And I love that I have supportive husband and friends who are able to be there for me when I need them in those areas, and just be that wise counsel sometimes to really help me achieve those goals. Another one under my personal goals is personal time. I realized that when I look back at 2024, I did not take enough personal time just to reset. And that personal time can be spent reading my Bible. It can be spent sleeping. Personal time, maintaining me, like going and getting my hair done, getting my nails done, a pedicure, not so much to be vain, but to know that I need to take care of me. I need that downtime. I'm really talking to my older girls about personal time. We are working on some strategies for them because my two oldest daughters share a room. And no, they don't argue and fight. They really get along great in their room. But they also realize that they're sharing that space with someone constantly. So I'm working with them for them to see a big picture of how they can create personal time space without offending the other person, or however that we can get that done. But it is important for us to take time just to settle our minds. And that's what I think of when I'm taking personal time. I am really settling my mind. Like, I'm trying to just relax and not think about the hustle and bustle of the day. Turn it all off and just relax. So those are the things that are falling under my personal goals. As far as homeschool, I am still working with my youngest daughter on getting her reading and math skills up and going, getting her confidence built in those areas. We are still continuing with our same goals for my oldest two daughters. They have done great with those. And so I don't really have any new goals for them right now. I would like for them to be more proactive with things, but I believe that that also comes with maturity. So I will just continue to remind and work through and help them with learning how to problem solve and critically think, and we will get over that hump. So that is a constant focus for us, right? Another goal under our homeschool, and this is a daily goal, is to finish our assignments. Some people may say, well, you don't need to finish everything every day, but we got into a pattern where there were multiple days that we did not finish work. Like, we literally were like, we'll just wait. We'll get to it tomorrow. And then tomorrow came and we still didn't. And the next day came and we still didn't. And we found ourselves being really behind. So I want us to stay diligent about completing our assignments and not accepting mediocrity. Sometimes we get complacent and we're like, it'll be fine. We get complacent in our homeschools because we are the checks and balances, right? Like, it's us. We decide what we want to do, how we want to do it, when we want to. And a lot of times that can lead us down a path of, it's my homeschool, I'll do what I want to, right? That is not the healthiest thing for the life of Tillmans. When we get like that, there is a problem. You have to really dig deep and really try to understand why it is that we're doing this. What can we eliminate? What can we change around? We need to change a scenery, schedule change, all the different things. But I would like for us to really focus on completing assignments throughout the day. So moving on to my family goals. One of the things that I would like for us to do is to spend more quality time together. Now, we do spend a lot of time together, and sometimes it's not that great a quality. Like, the kids are arguing. We have parents sitting over here. The kids are over here. We have one child upstairs. Like, somebody's going in the shower, the hustle and bustle of the day. And while that is time that we are spending together, it's not the quality time that I think that our family truly needs and that we have talked about achieving. So we are working on spending really good quality time, not just a huge quantity of time, but quality time together. I also talked about it before, but a vacation yearly, we're working on that. And then the other one is like spiritual growth together as a family. What does God want our family to do? How are we to build the kingdom? How are we to minister to others? What is the purpose of the Tillman household? that is something that our family has been on a journey to work through, and God has revealed so many things to us in the last few years, and we are just really hungry to serve and build in any way that He has called us to do so. So every day my prayer is like, God, what would you have us to do? What is it that you want us to work towards? Show us the big picture, small picture, whatever part of the picture you want us to see, so that we can move and operate in your purpose. And the last category on my list, which, like I said, these are not in any specific order, but it's marriage. What is it that, as a husband and wife, God would have me and my husband to be doing? One thing that we don't do enough of is take dates, okay? We are not regular daters. Honestly, I can totally be a hermit crab and stay in all day. He's very social and wants to be out. However, he travels a lot, so when he gets home, he's tired. But we are working on doing bi-weekly dates, and I know some people are like, we take dates weekly. We have never been that couple. Now, if you want to consider a date hanging out at home, eating dinner, watching a movie, check. We get that done for sure. But we're talking about actually leaving the house, going and doing something together, bi-weekly dates. I also talked about attending our marriage ministry for our church and doing that on a regular basis, and making sure, which is once a month, and then making sure that we are connecting weekly, and we call it a covenant connection. My husband started that, and we've been doing it now for about 6 months, and we want to keep that up. We meet weekly, and this is like our Tillman's business meeting. I'll be honest, like, of course we talk about, and uplift and encourage each other. However, we also talk about the business of our household running, the bills and the plan for the week, and trips that we may have coming up, and just all of the things that we're trying to work on for our family. This is our business connection. We call it our covenant connection. And I love doing that because it gives us a regular opportunity to check in with one another and really continue to grow our marriage and connection with each other and manage the household, manage this family that God has blessed us with. Ultimately, that's it. We want to make sure that we are aligned with God according to His will, so that we can move in the direction that He would have us to move. Like, that's it. That's where we are headed with all the things. So that is how I set goals, you guys. Don't forget to check out the playlist, and I will see you guys next time. Happy New Year again. Bye.